Look at this. 0W20 oil flows like water, literally. You pour it and it falls like tap water. Now look at this. 5W40 oil flows like honey, dense, viscous, protective. And now the million-dollar question. Would you really protect your $30,000 engine with something that looks like water? Because that's exactly what manufacturers are telling you to do. Open the manual of your new Toyota Corolla, recommended oil, 0W20. Open the manual of your new Volkswagen Golf, recommended oil, 0W20. Peugeot 3008, 0W20. Ford Focus, 0W20. All modern cars tell you, use the thinnest oil that exists, the one that flows like water. Why? Because it protects your engine better? No. Because manufacturers have to comply with brutal emissions regulations. And if they don't comply, they pay fines worth millions of dollars. Your engine is the sacrifice. Today I'm going to reveal the truth behind oil viscosity, why 0W20 has become the standard, where it works well, and where it's screwing your engine without you knowing it. And at the end, I'm going to give you the definitive guide to choosing the correct oil according to your real use, not according to what the manual says, because the manual is designed to pass government emissions tests, not to make your engine last 300,000 miles. Let's start. The emissions dictatorship, the real why. Manufacturers don't recommend 0W20 because it's better for your engine. They recommend it because they're being strangled by emissions regulations. Euro 6 in Europe, Euro 7 coming, CAFE in the United States. Every year, regulations get stricter. Less CO2 allowed, less fuel consumption. If a manufacturer doesn't meet the emissions average of their entire fleet, they pay astronomical fines. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. How do they reduce consumption? Option 1, smaller engines. That's why everyone makes 3 cylinders now. 1 liter, 1.2 liters, ridiculously small engines. Option 2, turbos, to extract power from those tiny engines. Option 3, ultra-thin oil. And here's the dirty trick. Thinner oil reduces what's called parasitic friction. Parasitic friction is all the energy the engine loses just moving its own parts. Pistons up and down, crankshaft spinning, oil being pumped. Thinner oil offers less resistance. The engine moves more easily, consumes less fuel. How much less? Between 1 and 2%. Doesn't sound like much, right? But multiplied by millions of cars, that 1% is the difference between meeting regulations and paying million-dollar fines. So manufacturers tell you, use 0W20, and in homologation tests, the car consumes 1% less, emits 1% less CO2. The manufacturer meets regulations, doesn't pay fines, all good. But there's a problem. That ultra-thin oil creates a thinner lubricating film between engine parts, and when the engine works hard, that film gets even thinner, until you reach a point where metal starts touching metal, and that's where your engine starts to die. But that happens at 150,000 or 200,000 miles, out of warranty, not the manufacturer's problem. The cold start test, where 0W20 shines okay. I'm not going to be unfair to 0W20. There are situations where it's clearly superior, and the most important is cold starting. When you start the engine, especially in winter, the oil is cold, viscous. The first 3 seconds after starting are the most critical. The oil has to get from the sump to all parts of the engine, the turbo, the camshafts, the hydraulic lifters. During those 3 seconds, there are areas of the engine working practically without lubrication. This is where 0W20 wins big. The 0W means that at low temperatures, the oil flows as if it had 0 viscosity. It flows instantly. A 5W30 takes half a second longer to flow. A 5W40 takes a full second longer. Doesn't sound like much, but in that second, the turbo has already spun 20,000 times without full lubrication. That's where 0W20 reaches the turbo in 2 seconds, 5W40 in 3 or 4. Result, less wear at startup. This is especially important if 1. You live in a cold climate, below 0 temperatures. 0W20 starts the engine much more easily. 2. You make short trips, many starts, many critical lubrication periods. 3. You have a hybrid. The engine starts and stops constantly. Every start is stress. 0W20 protects better on those starts. In these situations, 0W20 makes sense. It's the right choice. But there's a huge problem. Most people don't live in Norway, don't exclusively make short trips, and not everyone has hybrids. Many of us live in Spain, in Italy, in the south of France, where in summer the asphalt is at 50 degrees Celsius. where you drive on the highway for an hour straight, and that's where 0W20 betrays you. The asphalt inferno, where 0W20 suffers. Imagine this scenario: August, Madrid, 38 degrees Celsius in the shade, 50 degrees on the asphalt. You're in a traffic jam on the M30. The car's been stopped for 20 minutes. Engine running, air conditioning at maximum. Engine temperature rises to 105 degrees. The fan sounds like an airplane. The oil is boiling, and here comes the problem. The 20 in 0W20 means that at 100 degrees Celsius, the oil has the viscosity of SAE20 oil. SAE20 is very, very thin. When it heats to those extreme temperatures, it becomes almost like water. The lubricating film between the piston and cylinder gets so thin that the rough spots on the metal start touching. It's called metal-to-metal contact, or lubricating film breakdown. It's like walking on very thin ice. It works as long as the ice holds, but if you apply too much weight, the ice breaks, and you sink. 0W20 is that thin ice. Under normal conditions, it holds, but under extreme conditions, it breaks. Now compare with 5W40. The 40 means that at 100 degrees, it has the Ipschai viscosity of SAE40, much thicker than 20. The lubricating film is thicker, more resistant. It's like walking on sand. You can apply all the weight you want. The sand holds. Under extreme conditions, 5W40 gives you that extra cushion of safety that 0W20 can't offer. This is critical if 1. You live in a hot climate. Spain, southern France, Italy, southern United States. 2. You drive a lot on highways. The engine works at sustained high temperature. 3. You tow. Caravan, boat, cargo trailer. The engine works under extreme stress. 4. Your car has over 100,000 miles. Internal clearances have increased. You need thicker oil to compensate. In these cases, 0W20 is insufficient. Many mechanics in Spain will tell you, I don't care what the manual says. In this heat, your engine needs 5W30 minimum, better 5W40. And they're right. The direct injection and dilution factor, the dirty secret. Here comes something almost nobody tells you. Modern direct injection. Engines have a problem: fuel dilution in the oil. What is this? When the engine starts cold, combustion isn't perfect. Part of the injected gasoline doesn't burn. It condenses on the cylinder walls. The piston rings drag that gasoline down. It goes to the sump, mixes with the oil. On long trips, the engine heats up. The trapped gasoline evaporates, exits through the crankcase ventilation, but on short trips, the gasoline accumulates in the oil. And here's the brutal problem. If you already start with 0W20 oil that's ultra thin, and you add 5% gasoline to it, you basically have water in the sump. Viscosity drops dramatically. The oil stops protecting. It's like diluting honey with water. At first it's honey. With a little water, it becomes liquid. With more water, it's basically sugar water. It's no longer honey. The same happens with oil. How to detect it? Pull out the dipstick. Smell it. If it smells like oil, good. If it smells like gasoline, you have dilution. The oil is compromised. Change it immediately. If you use 0W20 and make many short trips, you're at very high risk of dilution. The solution? Use oil one step more viscous. 5W30 instead of 0W20. Dilution will still happen, but 5W30 with 5% gasoline is still more viscous than pure 0W20. You have a safety margin, or simply change the oil more frequently, every 10,000 miles instead of every 30,000. Which to choose? The survival guide. Okay, enough theory. Let's get practical. What oil should you use? Here's the definitive guide according to your real situation. Situation 1. You have a hybrid. Toyota, Honda, Kia hybrid. Use 0W20. No discussion. Why? The engine starts and stops constantly, sometimes 100 times on a trip. Every start is critical. You need the most fluid oil possible to protect on those starts. Plus, hybrids rarely work at sustained extreme temperature. The electric motor helps. The combustion engine doesn't suffer as much. Example, Toyota Corolla. Hybrid. The manual says 0W20. Use it. Situation 2. New car, less than 100,000 miles, mixed use, temperate climate use. What the manual says. Probably 0W20 or 5W30. Why? The engine is new. Clearances are minimal. Thin oil gets everywhere, no problems. Follow the manufacturer's recommendation while under warranty, but change it frequently. Every 15,000 miles, not every 30,000. Example, new Volkswagen Golf 1.5 TSI. Manual says 0W20. Use it, but change every 15,000. Situation 3. Car with over 100,000 miles. Use. Go up one step in viscosity. If manual says 0W20, use 5W30. If manual says 5W30, use 5W40. Why? At 100,000 miles, internal clearances have increased. Rings have more play. Bearings have more space. More viscous oil compensates for those clearances. Maintains oil pressure. Protects better. Example, Peugeot 308 with 120,000 miles. Manual says 0W20. I'd use 5W30. Situation 4. Intensive highway use, towing, sporty driving. US, the most viscous oil the manufacturer allows. If manual says 0W20 or 5W30, use 5W30. If manual says 5W30 or 5W40, use 5W40. Why? Sustained high temperatures. Extreme stress. You need the thickest lubricating film possible. Example, Ford Ranger with trailer. Even if manual says 5W30, use 5W40 in summer. Situation 5. Very hot climate. Spain, Southern Europe, deserts. Use. Go up one step in the high temperature number. If manual says 0W20, use 0W30 or 5W30. If manual says 5W30, consider 5W40. Why? Oil temperatures are much higher. Oil thins more. You need to compensate. Example, Seat Leon in Seville summer. Manual says 0W20. I'd use 5W30 in summer, 0W20 in winter. Situation 6. Very short trips, exclusively city use. What the manual says, but change oil twice as frequently. Why? High fuel dilution. Many cold starts. Oil degrades fast. If manual says change every 30,000, change every 15,000. Example, Renault Clio that only does 6 miles a day. Use 0W20 as manual says, but change it every 10,000 miles. The truth nobody tells you. Here comes the master advice. Oil is the car's blood, but the brand on the bottle matters less than change frequency. Listen carefully. You can use the most expensive oil on the market. Mobil 1, Castrol Edge, Shell Helix Ultra. But if you change it every 30,000 miles like the manual says, that oil is degraded, full of particles, diluted with gasoline. Or you can use a decent white label oil that meets manufacturer specifications, but you change it every 10,000 miles. The second scenario protects your engine much better. 30,000 mile intervals are calculated to pass warranty, not to make your engine last 300,000 miles. If you want your engine to be eternal, change oil every 10,000 or 15,000 miles. Maximum. Use correct viscosity according to your real use, not blindly according to manual. Use oil that meets manufacturer specifications. Doesn't have to be the most expensive, but it has to meet the standard. For Volkswagen, VW 50 4.00 or 507.00. For BMW, BMW Long Life -04 or LL-14. For Mercedes, MB 229.51 or 229.52. For PSA, Peugeot/Citroën, PSA B712290. These specifications matter more than oil brand. Final verdict, 0W20 versus 5W30 versus 5W40. There's no absolute winner. There's a winner for each situation. 0W20 wins in cold climates, hybrids. Short trips with many starts. New engines in ideal conditions. 5W30 is the perfect balance for mixed use. Temperate climates, engines with medium mileage. 5W40 wins in hot climates, intensive highway use, towing engines with over 100,000 miles. Sporty driving. The key is adapting to your reality, not to what the manual says that's designed to pass emissions tests. And remember, the correct viscosity with frequent changes always wins over perfect viscosity with changes every 30,000 miles. Take care of your engine, because manufacturers aren't going to do it for you. Now leave me in the comments, what oil do you use? Do you follow the manual or adapt according to your use? How often do you change oil? Have you noticed a difference using different viscosities? If this video opened your eyes about oil, subscribe. I upload content every week dismantling automotive industry myths. And share this video. There are millions of people destroying their engines because they follow the manual blindly. The right oil can make your engine last 300,000 miles. The wrong oil kills it at 150,000. Now you know how to choose. See you.